Greetings. Thank you for joining StudyCorgi live podcast. As a newbie on campus, you've probably already heard something about fraternities and sororities. You're probably thinking about jumping in, right? No surprise there. Many think that fraternities are all about having a good time, throwing awesome parties, and making friendships that stick around for life. But did you know that the fraternity alum list includes 18 U.S. presidents, 85% of Supreme Court justices, about 76% of U.S. senators, and 85% of the top Fortune 500 executives? Joining a club can also give you a palpable competitive advantage in the eyes of your future employers. And that's not even mentioning how it boosts your leadership and talking skills. Are you unsure if joining a fraternity or sorority is right for you? This episode by StudyCorgi experts will help you land on the best choice. We will cover everything you need to know about Greek life. Sounds interesting? Then let's get started. The first thing we will look at is the following essential question: what is Greek life? Well, it's a collective term for fraternities and sororities in college. Here are a couple of facts about them. Basically, a fraternity is an academic brotherhood where members come together with shared goals, aiding each other throughout their academic journey and even further. The term traces its roots back to the Latin word fraternitas, signifying brotherly association, where frater denotes brother. Fraternities periodically roll out a variety of events, parties, and competitions, also tending to devote their time to benevolence. Each fellowship society has its unique set of rituals and symbols. The term sorority was first utilized in 1882 by Gamma Phi Beta, the group of female students at Syracuse University. The Latin word soror means sister. Sororities are organizations comprising of female college students. These groups are kind of like fraternities, but exclusively for women. The term fraternity has broadened over time. Now it frequently refers to any organization designated by a Greek letter, not just those composed of male members. Additionally, many fraternities today welcome men, women, and non-binary individuals to join. Fraternities and sororities have been designated by Greek letters ever since Phi Beta Kappa, the first student society, was established in 1776. Ancient Greek literature was all the rage in higher education at the time. Students found this naming convention intriguing and attractive, mainly because Greek letters gave off an air of exclusivity and mystery. In addition to displaying Greek letters in their names and clothing, fraternities and sororities often have unique membership requirements and exclusive rights. Over the past 200 years, Greek life has established a solid base and now has over 9 million members nationwide. It continues to be a significant component of campus culture today. Fraternities are such unique environments that they even have their own jargon. Each word they use comes with a deep backstory. Here is a handy glossary to keep you from getting lost in the intriguing realm of fraternities. Rush. The term originates from the early days of Greek organizations, when fraternities literally rushed to recruit first-year students before another organization did. Currently, recruitment is used instead of rush to refer to a chapter's proactive role in locating the best members for their organization. Pledge. A fresh recruit who's accepted an invitation to join the group. Meeting. A process of gathering together and discussing fraternity business. Big. A person who oversees new members of a Greek organization. Bid. An official invitation to join a fraternity. Bid day is when first-year students receive their invitations and follow the initiation process. Dues. Funds that each member has to pay in order to stay in a Greek organization. These are typically collected each semester and go towards activities, ceremonies, charity work, and other essential expenses. Active/inactive. The former were initiated and are in good standing can be considered active. The latter have been removed from an organization's activities. Legacy. A person who has a relative that was initiated into a fraternity or sorority and successfully graduated. Chapter. The name for the local fraternity or sorority headquarters that falls under a larger national organization. Now that you know the term, it's time to go deeper into Greek life itself. Each organization has its own goals, objectives, activities, symbols, and other attributes. Generally, you can choose from 5 different types of Greek organizations. These include social. Most fellowships fall into this group. Their main aim is to help members hang out and connect with one another. These groups are ideal for anyone looking to make friends who share similar interests. The most prominent organization of this type is Sigma Alpha Epsilon. Service. These Greek organizations are all about giving back to the community through a bunch of service projects. They are a top-notch fit for those who seek ways to improve their leadership skills and engage in activities for a good cause. An example of an organization of this type is Alpha Phi Omega. Professional. Members of professional-oriented organizations such as Alpha Kappa Psi aim to boost their careers. This type of Greek life is perfect for ambitious folks who'd like to grow their career prospects. Honors. These are rare to find, but if you manage to get into one, you can consider yourself a big deal. These organizations only invite the most intellectual students with the highest GPA. If you have a membership in one of the honors organizations, you will be highly noted by employers and other people. The most prominent organization of this type is Phi Beta Kappa. Religion/ethic. These fraternities and sororities aim to improve and strengthen ties within a particular cultural or ethnic sphere. The biggest ethnic-based organization is Alpha Phi Alpha, which has a strong focus on African American cultural connections. Joining a fraternity can be an exhilarating and life-changing decision, but it's not something to dive into without thought. Before making the leap, we recommend that you weigh the benefits and drawbacks of Greek life. So make sure to dig into the next section with full attention. Let's start with the advantages. Greek life has many of them, including but not limited to networking. Sororities and fraternities enable you make connections with fellow students who shine in their studies. Whenever you're struggling, your brothers or sisters can lend a hand. Philanthropy. Many fraternities maintain deep bonds with national philanthropic groups. Their members dish out hefty annual donations and get involved in a variety of creative fundraising shindigs. Improved social skills. Greek life is all about engaging with your fellow active members. Fraternities often organize engaging discussions and various exciting events, so your social skills will receive a big boost. Leadership experience. If you envision yourself stepping into a leadership role down the road, then Greek life could be your perfect match. It won't just boost your communication chops, it'll also let you shape the decision-making vibe within your crew. Housing options. If you're enrolled in one of your college's fraternities, you will be given the choice to live in their residences. These are usually huge mansion-like buildings that will amaze you with their scale and comfort. Job opportunities. The vast alum networks that are created through Greek life can be a huge help with prestigious job opportunities after graduation. Additionally, belonging to a fraternity can serve as a notable point for your resume. Lots of fun. Engaging in Greek life is a great way to spend time, make new friends, and have memorable experiences. Being bored is the last thing that will happen if you're actively engaged in a fraternity. Despite all the perks of Greek life, there are still some serious drawbacks you need to know about. The following disadvantages push away many potential members, lead to scandals, and create a bad reputation for fraternities. Make sure to keep them in mind before making the final decision. Hazing. Hazing is the practice of making new fraternity members perform dangerous or humiliating tasks. It can take many forms, such as excessive drinking, physical challenges, sleep deprivation, or public humiliation. Hazing is a perilous ritual that can cause serious physical and emotional damage, prompting many universities and organizations to implement measures to curb and penalize such behavior within Greek life. Substance abuse. Alcohol is the substance that raises the biggest red flags when it comes to addiction issues on college campuses. Fraternity members are more likely to binge drink than other students due to peer pressure and easy access to alcohol. Time commitment. Fraternities usually expect members to show up for regular meetings, join in on social events, and pitch in with the organization's activities. This can be especially tough for students juggling their studies and part-time gigs. Price. The charges, such as an initiation fee and ongoing dues, might be too high for some students. Partly this is due to the high insurance costs fraternities must pay. However, the expense of living at the chapter house is typically not higher than ordinary room and board fees for a college. Exclusivity. There are situations where exclusivity can lead to toxicity within a Greek organization. Some members may promote discrimination, but they're usually dealt with. Still, keep this in mind before joining a fraternity or sorority. Stereotypes. Greek life members are often stereotyped as spoiled, frat boys, who party all the time and don't get along with other students. To explore this further, we've decided to cover myths about Greek life in the next segment. There is always a possibility of negative experiences within fraternities and sororities. Still, what goes on in one chapter doesn't necessarily happen in all of them. The truth is, people engaged in Greek life actively fight negative aspects and genuinely try to improve the situation. Unfortunately, the media often promotes anti-fraternity messaging, which can turn people away from Greek life. Besides, with frequent high-profile incidents related to misconduct within fraternities, many people end up associating all of Greek life with dangerous behavior. Well, we're here to bust the biggest myths that surround student organizations. Let's examine them in detail. Myth. Hazing is inevitable. Fact. Fraternities don't promote such behavior. Toxic members are usually expelled. Myth. Drinking and drug abuse are present in all fraternities. Fact. Heavy drinking is punished by chapter heads and other fraternity members. Myth. Fraternity members don't care about academics. Fact. Many organizations have strict requirements for members' GPA scores. Myth. Fraternities do not benefit the local communities. Fact. Every national fraternity and sorority has a community service or philanthropy program. Now, you can see Greek life objectively and make a balanced opinion. But before we proceed, let's have a look at where fraternities come from. Students started creating secret organizations in the late 18th century. They gathered together to discuss big events and different topics that weren't brought up during class. The first fraternity, Phi Beta Kappa Society, was founded in 1776. In the early days of fraternities, their members typically belonged to the elite social classes and were focused on intellectual pursuits. They often engaged in debates and literary discussions. Fraternities also served as a way for young men to form bonds and establish connections with people of their social class. Soon after, members also started planning events like parties, sporting competitions, dances, and so on. The purpose of fraternities and sororities has mostly stayed the same since the 18th century. Their main goal is to advance their members' social, academic, and professional goals. And, of course, they help their communities. Sadly, the history of Greek life in the US has plenty of dark chapters. Perhaps the most notorious are the scandals associated with hazing during freshman initiations, binge drinking, as well as misogynistic, racist, and homophobic acts. Many fraternities allowed their members to act cruelly and haze new members. It's primarily because, in the earlier days of Greek life, higher education was available only to privileged members of high society. Although the times were changing, the traditions remained largely the same in secret societies. Nowadays, the situation is vastly different, but unfortunately, fraternities are still associated with sexual harassment and drug abuse. Throughout its existence, Greek life has been continuously improving. Just like society as a whole, it has become more inclusive and mindful of social issues. This is how the things are today. Fraternities and sororities still play a major role in campus life. According to statistics, Greek life influences socialization of 67%, shopping behavior of 38%, purchases of 37%, and food choices of 36% of students. The number of culturally diverse organizations has grown exponentially. It's no longer a place for just one type of student. Now, everybody is welcome to join. Fraternities must go through accreditation process. This practice helps to ensure that student organizations meet certain criteria regarding their operations, policies, values, and principles. Accreditation also requires fraternities to follow risk management guidelines which help reduce the likelihood of accidents. Now you know about the advantages and disadvantages of Greek life and how it has changed through time. It's time to decide whether you should join a fraternity. If you feel like a membership will harm your financial or academic standing, then it's better to refrain from joining. Greek life is not for everyone, and that's completely fine. It's not obligatory to join, and there are a bunch of other things that you can do instead. For example, there are clubs, faculty events, and many other activities provided by universities. And if none of the drawbacks bother you, then go ahead and start your Greek life adventure. If you plan to join one of the fraternities or sororities, we've prepared a lot of helpful information for you. Stay with us if you wish to make your Greek life experience as pleasant as possible. The first step is to choose the organization that will help you spread your wings and thrive. So, take this step seriously. Be honest with yourself about your goals and needs. Avoid getting caught up on exclusivity and keep a cool head. Take your time and study all the options before making a final choice. With that in mind, here's a roadmap for you. 1. Look for like-minded people. This is the most important factor. Your potential fraternity must share your interests and values. To make the right decision, investigate and Google various Greek organizations on your campus. Most fraternities have a mission statement that you can find on their website or social media pages. Check it out to learn about their core values and principles. 2. Study the reputation of all chapters in your school. Nowadays, it's easy to do your research on practically anything, including every fraternity out there. So, aside from the organization's website, make sure to look them up on news websites. Many fraternities have more than a few skeletons in their closet. Look for the following information. Are the chapters that you wish to enroll in accredited? Where do their alums work? Were they involved in any scandals recently? Do these chapters have any distinguished individuals as alums? 3. Learn about the fraternity dues. Joining student organizations can be pricey. They usually require you to pay for multiple things like entrance fees, rent, black tie events, and even uniforms. These prices vary from one Greek organization to another. Usually, the sum is somewhere around $300 to $600 per semester. 4. Seek diverse communities. Back in their early days, fraternities were only there for privileged white men. Nowadays, they are very diverse and inclusive. So, be sure to pick one that has diverse members. Such an organization will expose you to various perspectives and experiences that will enrich your life. Besides, this way, you'll promote and foster inclusivity and tolerance within your school. 5. Inquire about legacy options. You might have thought about carrying on the legacy of a previous member of your family who joined a particular sorority or fraternity. Being a direct descendant of a specific chapter member used to ensure admission, but that isn't necessarily the case now. We recommend asking whether this option is available on the chapters that interest you. At the end of the day, you are not obliged to join a chapter simply because a member of your family did. It's all up to you. 6. Talk to actual fraternity members. Getting to know fraternity's current members is the best way to get real insights into the organization. You can ask anything that concerns you and get honest answers. Make as many friends from fraternities or sororities as possible so that it will be easier for you to get along with them once you join. 7. Check philanthropic causes. If a Greek organization is seriously engaged in philanthropy, it's a big plus to their karma. Unlike some self-centered fraternities, they're definitely not like that. You'll be able to tell how high they value their reputation and how far their mission goes. It's a good sign that they share your interests and values. 8. Consider joining a Black, Asian, or Latinx community. Many great cultural-oriented fraternities and sororities are waiting for students who cherish their heritage and want to contribute to racial equality. The members of these organizations protect and support one another. If you're proud of your culture and want to strengthen your bonds with it, cultural-oriented fraternities are for you. Here's another intriguing tidbit about fraternities and sororities. They're fantastic spots for international students to forge friendships and swiftly acclimate to a new culture. If you're an international student, you'll want to pay special attention to this part. Making new acquaintances will be less stressful for international students who join fraternities or sororities. Your new brothers or sisters can help you settle into life in a different country and act as your support crew. With all the regular social events, you'll have tons of chances to meet new faces and shape your identity within your chosen family. In addition, it will be easier for international students to get a job abroad. By hopping into fraternities, you'll create a web of professional connections that extends far past graduation. An amazing feature of Greek organizations is that once you're in, you're a brother or sister for life. Your buddies can help you land job opportunities and even provide backup during interviews. What is more, some of the top employers appreciate fraternity membership a whole lot, being alumni themselves. So, if you're dreaming of making the most out of your college experience in the US, go ahead and join a fraternity. Just think of picking a community that features an inclusive and supportive vibe for international students. While you're still mulling over the idea of joining a student organization, we are already willing to provide you with a top 11 list of celebrities who once walked the halls of Greek life. These folks are an impressive illustration of how being part of a fraternity or sorority can enhance your career opportunities and positively transform your life. 1. Meghan Markle. The famous actress who managed to become a member of the UK royal family attended Northwestern University before the start of her career. During her time at the institution, Markle became a member of Kappa Kappa Gamma. 2. Kourtney Kardashian. The iconic model and socialite Kourtney Kardashian studied commerce at the University of Arizona from 2000 to 2002. In addition to her academic pursuits, she was a member of Alpha Phi, dubbed the Ivy League of Greek life. Other Kardashian sisters also attended various sororities. 3. Alicia Keys. The famous singer Alicia Keys joined Alpha Kappa Alpha in 2004 as an honorary member. Other well-known honorary members of AKA include Jada Pinkett Smith, Brandy, Maya Angelou, and Ava DuVernay. 4. Lucy Liu. Being best known for her roles in Charlie's Angels and Kill Bill, Lucy Liu also participated in Greek life as a student. There was a member of Chi Omega at the University of Michigan before pursuing her acting career. 5. Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, a world-famous attorney, is known to have been an Alpha Epsilon Phi member. She was a part of the organization's Cornell University chapter. 6. Martin Luther King Jr. Many people are unaware that Martin Luther King Jr. was a proud Alpha Phi Alpha alumnus. Here, he gained the leadership abilities that were later essential to his success in the civil rights movement. 7. Matthew McConaughey. Before getting his big break in Hollywood, actor Matthew McConaughey attended the University of Texas at Austin. It is known that McConaughey participated in Delta Tau Delta while he was a student. 8. Steven Spielberg. Filmmaker and producer Steven Spielberg is also a Theta Chi alumnus at Norwich University in Vermont. While attending California State University Long Beach, Steven Spielberg joined Theta Chi. His hazing experience may have influenced some of his greatest movies. 9. Michael Jordan. The University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill's Omega Psi Phi fraternity once had international basketball superstar Michael Jordan as its member. 10. Brad Pitt. Famous actor Brad Pitt was a member of the Sigma Chi fraternity even though he only spent 2 years at the University of Missouri. 11. Lionel Richie. Legendary musician Lionel Richie has received numerous awards, including 4 Grammys and 1 Golden Globe. Additionally, he is a proud member of the Divine Nine's first national fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha. While attending Tuskegee Institute, now Tuskegee University, in Alabama, Lionel Richie joined Alpha Phi Alpha. Greek life is a great opportunity and lots of fun, so give it a try. Do you have any stories about the colorful life in a fraternity or sorority? Feel free to share them in the comments.